Before we begin the following program, we would like to say that, in our opinion, it is not suitable for children or those of you who are of a Marxist or misandrist disposition.
Oh, no.
Oh, for God's sake!
I don't like it.
I know you don't.
No.
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 You can't rewrite history, not one line.
People spend all their time making nice things, and other people come along and break them.
It's the end.
You're the cause of this disaster.
Hello, Grumpies, and the meaningless award for Best Smackter goes to Wimpsmith for Pussy Whipped. I love my wife, and she want an open marriage so she can have all the dick she want. And she tell me I gotta be cool with that, so I am. And she say I can get me some pussy too, if I can find me some. And I am humbled by what God is calling me to be at this moment in time in my life. A pussy whipped asshole, and an example of what happens when you let your wife run your marriage. Will Smith isn't a man, he's a pussy whipped beta male. A real man doesn't have to go around smacking people in order to assert his authority. The worst thing about the slap that was heard around the world is that it's just going to feed into the usual feminist narrative of toxic masculinity, without which the world would be a much better place. A world where some women have penises. You don't have to have a vagina to be a woman. Speaking of vaginas, the Vagina Doctor will be gone soon. She's only got 2 more episodes left to go, the next one of which is The Return of the Turtlemen, otherwise known as Legend of the Sea Devils. For those of you who are interested in this, it's going to go out on Sunday the 17th of April, Easter Sunday. Personally, I'm not interested, I won't be watching, and I'm convinced that the only reason they're doing this story is because character options are desperate for a new action figure to sell. Realistically, we can expect the ratings to be slightly up on Groundhog Day of the Daleks, but don't expect them to be massively different. You're still going to be talking somewhere around 4 million for the consolidated. Now, speaking of Return of the Turtlemen, remember how the left loved to go on about cultural appropriation? Well, what's this then? The Vagina Doctor's not Chinese, so why is she wearing Chinese clothing? That's cultural appropriation. Stand by for the flurry of tweets complaining about that. Not. We got our first glimpse of what the story is going to be like in the latest issue of SFX magazine, where we got the revelation that the Sea Devils in the story aren't just Sea Devils, they're, wait for it, Sea Devil pirates. Yes, seriously. The story, which is all about Madam Ching, who is the bestest pirate ever, she's apparently looking for some sunken treasure ship, the Fleur de la Mar, that we never heard of, when she awakens a terrifying evil, which apparently is some Turtlemen pirates. Which, I don't know about you, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Something else that's absolutely fucking ridiculous is Jizz Finish, for the love of Wokery, who are bringing in, wait for it, a companion in a wheelchair. A companion in a wheelchair on audio. Jizz Finish's latest attempt to signal how virtuous they are is Waterworlds, which should probably be renamed Woke Worlds. Right, so let's have a look at the shite they're saying about this. These 3 exciting new adventures for the Doctor, Colin Porky Baker, and Melanie Bush, Bonnie Nails Down the Blackboard Langford, take them from the depths of the ocean to expanses of outer space, where they encounter deadly sea creatures, mind-swapped shipmates, and our brand new companion. This box set marks Ruth Medley's debut as Hebe. I'm sorry, as what? As Hebe. Hebe Harrison. Hebe Harrison. So another companion with a stupid fucking name. Alright, Hebe, what's that about then? In ancient Greek religion, Hebe is the goddess of youth or the prime of life. So she's named after the goddess of youth, and she's in a wheelchair. Okay, This box set marks BAFTA-nominated Ruth Madley's debut as Hebe Harrison, a sarcastic marine biologist and the Doctor's first ever wheelchair-using companion. So, Hebe Harrison, the new companion, the first thing they tell us about her is that she's sarcastic. She's a marine biologist and she's in a wheelchair. How do you get to be a marine biologist when you're in a wheelchair? Doesn't that cause problems if the boat sinks? Anyway, so Hebe Harrison is sarcastic. That's the first thing they tell us about her. Then they tell us that she's a marine biologist, so she's obviously clever as well as sarcastic. And she's in a wheelchair, so she's virtuous. Whereas actor and comedian Rove McManus plays Jonah Strong, a, get this, cowardly and fame-hungry TV star. That doesn't sound misandrist at all to me, does it you? And am I the only one who thinks that Rove McManus's Jonah Strong is just another fan-wank version of Harold Chorley? Surely not. They wouldn't be that fan-wank, would they? Then again, they probably would. The Rotting Deep by Jacqueline Rayner. Oh yeah, Jacqueline Rayner, we remember her. She's the misandrist who wrote that DWM comic strip, all about strong women taking revenge on men. Yeah, I remember her. Cow. Right, so The Rotting Deep by Jacqueline Misandrist Rayner, what's that about then? A mysterious SOS summons the Doctor and Mel to an oil rig in the North Sea, where a dwindling group of survivors awaits rescue from a lethal menace. One of their number is Hebe Harrison, a wheelchair-using marine biologist who is definitely more than she seems. Can our heroes escape the rig? And just what is killing off the rig's beleaguered crew? And does anybody give a toss? Find out in Fury from the Deep 2. Producer and writer Jacqueline Misandrist Rayner said inviting a new companion on board the TARDIS is always exciting. Inviting the first wheelchair user on board the TARDIS is especially exciting. But the most exciting thing of all is to have the incredible Ruth Madley joining Colin Pokey Baker and Bonnie and Nails Down a Blackboard Langford on their travels. Seriously, you couldn't make this shit up. A companion in a wheelchair. Talk about virtue signalling. How's that going to fucking work when the monsters start chasing them? And of course, don't forget, her defining character trait is that she's sarcastic. So the monsters will chase them, Colin will try and push her chair or something, and she'll give some sarky line about me legs might not work, but my brain does, don't patronise me, you straight white male. You can see it coming, can't you? I doubt very much that there's a good, compelling story reason why Hebe Harrison is in a wheelchair. She's probably in a wheelchair just so Jizz Finish can get some brownie points and virtue signal to their lefty friends, so they can promote themselves as being inclusive. Look, we've got a wheelchair companion. How good are we? A companion in a wheelchair on audio. That makes about as much fucking sense as putting the Weeping Angels on audio. Oh, yeah. They have, haven't they? So there you go. That's what you've got to look forward to if you're a Doctor Who fan. Fan-bait sea devils, a fan-wank woman in a wheelchair. Remember that book that Richard Marston wrote about JNT called Totally Tasteless? Someone really ought to write one about Chris Chibnall. Call it Completely Clueless. Might do it myself. And at the same time they should do one for Nick Sherlock Holmes Vanity Project Briggs and call it Utterly Useless. The BBC and their minions at Jizz Finish. They just love the fans, don't they? Until the next time, resist those Marxist bastards and stay grumpy.
If you're a lefty and have been affected by any of the issues raised in this program,
Fuck off!